Rejection in real estate is one of those things that you just have to get used to in the business, because no matter where you work and for how long you do this job, you will always deal with rejection in real estate, no matter what. So when you're first getting started, you might think, how do I deal with the rejection in this business? And I don't know if anyone has the perfect answer to this question, honestly. So when I first got started, I imagined all the glamorous parts of being a real estate agent. I was so excited to go show these beautiful properties, so excited to meet interesting people, and then just get things sold at the end of the day. But that happens about less than 10% of the time, if that, and the rest of the 90% of the time is all rejection and disappointment. Not to be a downer, but it's just the truth of the job, honestly. I had to get really good at not letting things affect me in this business, because a lot of people in this profession joke about the life of a real estate agent just being a roller coaster of emotions, and that couldn't be more true, especially when first getting started. But once you get past a certain point in your career, you then realize that the highs are great, but they also come with the lows. So you kind of center yourself to just be as in the middle as possible and not get too caught up in the highs or too brought down by the lows. So how do you do that? Now, you do that by basically kind of making rejection almost a game. So when I first got started in this business, I did a lot of cold calling. I did a lot of cold outreach in general, and I even did some door knocking. So with that comes a ton of rejection, constant rejection every day, all day. I got used to it very, very quickly. And what happens really is that after a while, the rejection kind of just becomes almost like a game where you know that every no gets you closer to a yes. Because my whole goal wasn't about converting each person that I talked to. It was about talking to a certain amount of people every day and having a certain amount of conversations about real estate every day. So at the end of the day, if I had all these people rejecting me, I know that I did everything I could on my part, and I couldn't control how they reacted to me trying to talk to them about real estate. So I know that sounds easier said than done, but almost taking out the emotion of getting a no after no after no just made it easier for me to work towards getting more yeses. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this took time. It didn't happen overnight. This was something that I was able to build out months after months of doing this, and even years after years. I would say it took me about 2 years in the business to get really good at handling rejection constantly, and to the point where if somebody, let's say I was on the phone as an example, if somebody just screamed me out on the phone or hung up on me on the phone, I was so cold, stone-faced after a while that I would literally just go to the next person and I would have no emotion to it. But it took me a little bit of time to get there, that's for sure. So you're gonna have to deal with rejection in this business 5, 10, 15, 20 years down the line. So it never ends, the amount of rejection that you get in this business. It just gets easier to handle as you get further and further in your career. So I know that sounds, like I said, easier said than done, but it is something that the more you put yourself out there, the easier it becomes every time. So the way that I got over rejection was by being rejected more and more and more, and almost laughing about it, making a joke with my friends, other people in the industry, with my family. They thought it was the most hilarious thing that I would get doors slammed in my face, that I would get hung up on all the time, and I would just keep going. They just laughed it off and was like, Lauren, she'll just do anything, she's ruthless. And not ruthless in a bad way, but ruthless as in she'll do whatever it takes to succeed. And I want you to adapt that mindset. If you want to make it in this business, you're never gonna stop getting rejected. I get rejected to this day. Tom, my husband and business partner, gets rejected to this day, even more than me, because he talks to more potential clients than I do. So it is a constant, never-ending game of rejection. But at the same time, you have to make it so that every time someone says no, you know you're getting closer to that yes, and the yeses are the only thing that matter. So I hope this helped you kind of get my mindset and how I take rejection in this business. If you have any other questions for me or want me to make any other follow-up videos to this one, just let me know in the comments.